Hi everyone, my name is Adejoke Ogunlere. I am a lawyer, a strategist extraordinary, and I am the founder of the Future Man Challenge currently going on, and this is day 2. Day 1 was all shades of exciting, amazing, and then of course it's been very fruitful. The people who are currently on the platform working with us on the challenge have been empowered with, aside from networking and other amazing things that are happening, and there are people from diverse industries. We have service providers on it, entrepreneurs, startup and tech startup founders, and then of course there are many professionals there and people who work across different disciplines. But aside from that, what the most profound thing about today, according to the feedback, has been the what I call CIA, the COVID-19 impact assessment. This impact assessment is broken down into all works: how the COVID-19 pandemic issue affects you as an individual, affects you as a startup founder, affects you as a medium to small business owner or enterprise, and also affects you as a professional working in an organization. So it has detailed questions that will get you to think about the impact, and you're able to assess it. You are doing a proper audit, and then this will help you to articulately measure how you can begin to strategize to mitigate the effect of this impact. Because what you don't actually measure, what you don't articulate, and what you don't measure, you're unable to articulate. So there is need to measure it. But before I go on, I would encourage you to subscribe to this video. Follow me on LinkedIn at Adejoke Naomi Ogunlere, and on Instagram at Naomi the Greatest, also on Twitter at Naomi the Greatest. So today, day 2, we're going to be sharing on how we can now walk further from the CIA. Now that we are able to properly articulate, or to a very large extent, how this COVID-19 affects my business or affects me as an individual, affects my personal goals, my financial goals, my work goals and organizational goals, how this affects me as a startup founder, how this is affecting the investors fund that I'm currently working with, how this is affecting the value and the equity of my business, how this affects my consumers and my customers and the community that I serve. Are they going to be losing their wealth? Do I need to begin to redefine my business model? The current business model that I'm operating, how adversely affected is it by what is happening? After we've been able to articulate all of that from the work in day 1, which is a very detailed matrix, I'll put the link below, so for those who will be interested for during the challenge and of course after the challenge. Day 2 is a continuation of day 1, as I said earlier, and day 2 is very straightforward. Having worked on the CIA, which is the COVID-19 impact assessment matrix that was shared with the people who are the fellow challengers on the group, it then further leads to what we'll be doing today, which is looking at the top 5 ways this is adversely or positively affecting your industry, your organization, your current role as a professional in the space you operate in. And then of course 5 ways that you can begin to mitigate the effect if they are negative, and 5 ways you can enhance it if they are positive impact. For some people, like I said in the first video, in the video for day 1, some people are smiling to the bank. Stocks, some companies have seen a very meteoric rise in their stock, while some stocks have tanked really critically low. So what is it for you, and how can you sit down to properly assess it, and then begin to make strategic efforts and take deliberate action to ensure that the effect can be mitigated? Because what you don't accurately measure, you are unable to articulate it. So it's important that we measure the impact of COVID-19 on our businesses, industries, as startup founders, as people who are managing investors, venture capitals, and any industry whatsoever that you operate in. So today's challenge is very easy, and the assignment is straightforward. What are the top 5 ways this is affecting you? How can you make the most of those top 5 ways? By beginning to create solutions and creating deliberate strategies that are probably going to emerge as a result of this crisis. It is in time of crisis that some people make their fortune. I mean, if you read the history of some of the startups that were founded in the last recession, like I said in day 1's video, startups like WhatsApp, Venmo, Slack, Airbnb, and of course the very famous and popular Uber that works across many countries and many continents. They were all funded and floated in the last recession. I mean, these were concepts, these were ideas that nobody had ever thought of, or that people were skeptical about using such services. Who would have thought that at some point about 20-15 years ago that you would log on an app and then somebody would come and stay in your house, someone you've never met before. But here we are with Airbnb, here we are with Uber, and of course here we are with WhatsApp and Slack and Pinterest and all those other fantastic startups. So is your startup going to be one of the next fantastic ideas that is going to be funded after this recession that the world is clearly heading to because of the COVID-19 pandemic? How are you going to mitigate the effect of this? What is this doing to your business, and how are you going to make the most of it? Measure it, articulate it, sit down, write the top 5 down, and then of course I'm looking out to read in the comment below that I can begin to share solutions to you on how you can revolutionize your business model, enhance customer experience, and of course improve the quality of life with the products and the services you're going to be creating after this pandemic or as a result of this COVID-19 pandemic. These are exciting times. Irrespective of all of the gloom, some investors are still putting out money into people's businesses. Some people are still cutting checks. So it is not all gloom and chaos as maybe the press is painting it, because some people are actually cashing out. It is a time of crisis. Some people are known to make their money. So how are you going to make the best of it? I'm available to help you. Like I said, I'm the startup cheerleader, and that is why we're having this challenge. If you're interested in using the CIA, which is the COVID-19 Impact Assessment Matrix, drop a comment below, and then of course I'll put a link up as well so that you can click on it. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and of course share the video. Get your friends, your business associates, your staff members to watch these videos, and then of course take on the challenge. Everybody's perspective will be different, and of course that diversity helps us to come together to think and forge very strong and authentic strategies. So thank you for watching. Don't forget to like I said earlier, and subscribe as well. And then follow me on LinkedIn on Adejoke Naomi Ogulere, and of course on Instagram at Naomi the Greatest, and on Twitter at Naomi the Greatest. Thank you for watching. I'm happy to connect with you further. See you in the next video.